Now the star-belly sneeches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly sneeches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all those star-belly sneeches would brag, we're the best kind of sneech on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain-bellied sort. Hey everyone, Koopaman here. No, it isn't Dr. Seuss Day. Well, it could be. I make these scripts several weeks in advance, and I honestly don't know when Dr. Seuss Day really is, but anyway, I chose to read an excerpt from the Sneeches because it illustrates the point I want to make today of some of those within gaming and other hobbies and how they seem to act like self-important pricks for very insignificant reasons. We're gonna talk about the stop having fun guys, or competitive elitists. Now, not to paint with a broad brush or anything here, not all competitive gamers are like this. Many are actually saintly human beings who are always happy to be a helping hand to a new friend. Basically, hashtag not all is in full effect. Then there's those who, well...
Twink, twink, twinkle, twinkle, lovely little star.
Twink, twink, twinkle, twinkle, stupid little star.
If there's one upon your tummy, that's just yummy, you're my chummy. If there isn't, you're a crummy, slummy, gummy, bummy, dummy. That applies likewise to Daddy and your mommy. Twink, twink, twinkle, twinkle, lovely little star.
Twink, twink, twinkle, twinkle, stupid little star.
Act like that. I knew I'd find an excuse to include this 70s cartoon. It doesn't matter what you're trying to play. If you choose not to play it the correct way, a stop having fun guy isn't far behind. Want to play Marvel vs. Capcom as a character other than Magneto or Sentinel? No way, you're doing it wrong, noob. Want to play a Super Smash Bros. Game aside from Melee? What are you, a casual baby? Get good at wave dashing, which totally isn't an unintended glitch. Want to play Pokemon at all? Well, guess what? Smogon is here to tell you you're doing it wrong no matter what you do. Be prepared to do EV/IV farming and train breed to get Ubermensch Pokemon, and be prepared to only use Pokemon that are used by tournament winners, even when it was a complete fluke. You aren't even safe outside of video games. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players on certain levels say you're playing it wrong if you don't use the cards everyone uses that the magazines, forums, and tournament winners all use. And God forbid you use Dark Magician or Red Eyes Black Dragon, you Slifer slacker. But Maxi must totally be banned. And Lord help you if you ever buy a pre-built gaming PC, or even use the wrong parts in your build, or ask a professional to assemble it for you after buying all the parts. You may as well be kicking puppies. Want to discuss Warhammer? Better make sure you're in the right Warhammer community. If you talk about Space Marines in the fantasy fandom, you'll be seen as a fascist. And if you talk about vampires that aren't Blood Angels among 40k fans, you'll be given weird looks. Of course, the one thing that can be agreed upon is that Age of Sigmar is absolute cancer. Speaking of 40k, you better not say that any other franchise or character has even a remote chance of winning a fight against a Space Marine. Especially not the mobile infantry from Robert E. Howard's Starship Troopers, or you'll incur the wrath of Buttermilk Bob. Not to be confused for his evil twin brother, Movie Bob. And when I say the mobile infantry, I don't mean the movie version who are just stylish guardsmen. I mean the book version who lob nukes like Liberty Prime.
Communist detected on American soil. Lethal force engaged.
Back on topic, what even drives this attitude anyway? Well, it's a mix of two things. First is smug self-superiority. These people realize that they are adequate at a certain thing that most people aren't good at, and because of that, they feel good about themselves because, and ironically, the second thing is crippling insecurity. The stop having fun guys all share one thing in common. Among their niche or game or hobby, they're good, but not great. None of them are tournament winner level, and they know it. See, top level tournament players of these games and hobbies, for the most part, all have a fair level of humility. Most of them are quite eager to get new people interested in their hobby started. Conversely, the stop having fun guy wishes that he were the top tier tournament player, but lacks not only his humility, but his skill. Therefore, he bullies new players so he can feel like a winner. It's actually quite pathetic and pitiful. In a sense, it's just a form of compensation. Like I said, you hardly see this kind of behavior around true high-skill games. It's usually around stuff like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is far and away simpler than the rest of Capcom's fighting roster, Super Smash Bros. Melee, a game that was rushed to meet its launch window, and thus is a bit unbalanced and a bit broken, and Pokemon, which, well, was never balanced to begin with because Game Freak doesn't know how to code. What these games all share in common is that while they're very successful and very fun games, they all are kind of low skill compared to other entries in their genre or series. Most of the high-ranked competitives of all three-sided are just people using the same high-tier characters without any experimentation, never once questioning the balance issues. I mean, so you're good at Baby's First Capcom Fighter, or a casual party game for the GameCube. Try translating that skill into Street Fighter 3's Third Strike. Most, if asked, would slowly back away from the challenge, as Third Strike, not Melee, was the game that made Evo and esports legitimate. I mean, come on, you guys heard me talk about the Daigo parry. Melee, on the other hand, is who can use Fox on Final Destination with no items better. Then there's the fact that all those listed games are rated E for everyone and intended for a younger audience, especially Pokemon. Really, it comes off like saying, I'm the best there ever is at Candyland, and then treating yourself like you're some great chess grandmaster and think you're hot stuff. That's just sad, honestly. This is something you can keep in mind when you deal with the stop having fun guys, which odds are you inevitably will. They live everywhere. Learning to ignore them is key. If you feel your group has a few too many of them, you might as well go and find a new group if you want, or start your own. But if you want to play competitive, be prepared. There's always at least one stop having fun guy within any random lobby. Don't let them get to you. You may even learn to grow and surpass them entirely. Then you can troll them. It's especially funny when they don't even enjoy the game anyway. Yeah, that's something that was brought to my attention by my friend KMDP. Some of these vocal competitive snobs aren't even actually into the games they're playing. It's just a money-making scheme. This wasn't so much a case way back when, but now that esports are a mainstream thing with actual real-life sponsorships, there's incentive to push out fresh blood who may one day get good and push the stop having fun guys out of easy money. I knew esports were a bad idea. Anyway, this has been the Koopa Man. Game on.